Hello and good morning, good afternoon,
Morning.
and
Good
good
morning.
evening.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we all doing today?
Good, thanks.
Brilliant. So, Aldo and Horia are just on the road at the moment, so they're online, but I've muted them both. Aldo's just about to get home and then he'll dial in, and then Horia will be a short while after that. And so, in the meantime, I'm going to lead again. We'll go through Agile budgeting and lean funding again. We'll complete that lesson. But before we get into that, I was really thinking about those questions that you sent me yesterday. And firstly, I think, Jack, they were really, really valid questions. And I don't feel I satisfied you well enough. But luckily, I know a man who does. So I kind of deferred to Horio and Aldo and Al Shalloway
Okay.
himself.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the thing is with Al Shalloway, we've talked about him all the way through this course, and we've been collaborating with him for almost a year now. He's the Director of Thought Leadership at the PMI. He used to be the CEO of Net Objectives. And if you go to the Net Objective portal, it's just a treasure trove of things to read about. I've learned so much off this guy. And before that, he was involved with the Kanban University with David Anderson, and he worked with Dean Leffingwell for Scaled Agile Framework and was an SPC a while back. And so there's two parts to this. One, if you've got questions, then the community of practice that Al is leading is definitely the place to ask it. And I know you're keen on that, so we can deep dive into that later on.
Yeah.
But secondly, is you've all got great feedback on this course, and we want to optimize this course. So we're going to have a session with Al next week. So I would like today for you to think about what feedback you would have of how we can make this even better. I mean, I personally, I've learned a lot this week as well, but I can see this as a really high-end course, but we want to make it even better. So I'd like you to imagine if you give me any feedback, it's as if you're giving the feedback directly to Al. Actually, you know what? Let's cut out the middleman. Let's bring in Al now. Uh, Al, how are you doing? Are you there, Al?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So a bit of a surprise. What we thought this morning is because of those great questions, we've asked Al if he could give us some of his time and share some of those questions you've got, and then also it gives you an opportunity to speak with Al himself and give him some feedback of your experience this week, and also to dig into some of those questions. So with that, Jack, what's on your mind?
Totally surprised. We have Al here.
Yeah, it's fun. My
Hi,
wife
Al.
said now she wants you to invite us there, not virtually. We love New Zealand.
Well, actually,
So,
I'm the only one in New Zealand here. Everyone's in Southeast Asia.
Uh,
What I thought is the first question, which we covered yesterday, was about FSTs and how they might
yeah,
differ from Agile release trains. Uh,
yeah, it's a good question. And in fact, I started writing up some things about a deeper dive. Let me share a screen because this is actually a useful question, and it's not obvious right at front. So the
thank you,
thing
Al.
there, can you see my screen now?
yep.
Okay, I
Yes.
know there's nothing there to read, but I'll get to that in a minute. The oh, are we recording this?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good. The key thing to remember is what is the purpose of a